Hello friends and welcome. This is a video all about crow pose. So if you're somebody who is interested in learning how to do crow, how to build strength for crow pose, or even just how to increase your hold in that pose, this video is for you. Before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe the video so you don't miss any of the content. Every Saturday there's a new class releasing, so make sure that you don't miss it. When I first came to my yoga practice, I used to think crow was one of the coolest poses ever and also quite intimidating because you don't know what's going to happen if you fall out. Will you smash your face? What's going to happen? And it is quite a tricky balance. But the good thing is with tools, with building strength and understanding the pose and your body, you can do poses like crow with a lot of control, a lot of stability and a lot of trust within your body. And a lot of trust within your process. So even if you don't unlock crow pose right in this second or in this video, you will have the tools to keep working towards it so that someday you find yourself effortlessly balancing in your crow. So let's dive right in. First, I want you to stand. And you can stand in any way. You can keep your feet slightly apart. You can bring the big toes together, whatever you'd like. But I want you, as you stand, to start shifting the weight forward onto the toes. And notice how you grip the mat a little bit so you don't fall, right? Now, I want you to stand on your heels. Shift the weight back into the heels. Notice how you're using the heels to prevent from falling backwards. And if you fall, what happens? You just take a step, right? Again, shift the weight forward. Notice how you grip the mat so you don't fall, and then back. And same thing, you grip with your heel so you don't fall. This is very, very important to understand for the mechanics of crow. When you're doing a crow pose, what ends up happening is the weight is shifting, right? And your base, which is when you're standing, your feet, is only the hands, the palms. So it's really important that you really feel the sense of control that you have within your hands, because that delicate balance is being maneuvered a little bit, micro maneuvers, micro negotiations with your base, with your palms, okay? So now bring your hands down onto the mat, hands shoulder width distance, and I like to bring my index fingers to the front of the mat and start to grip the mat slightly. So you're pressing into the fingertips and maybe knuckles begin to lift slightly off the mat. Now from here, let's do two cat-cows. Inhale, arch the spine, open up the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, exhale. Good. Back into your neutral spine. We're going to flip the fingers to face towards the knees for a wrist stretch. Crow is very wrist heavy. There's a lot of weight on the wrist, so we want to make sure we warm up our wrist before we do our crow. Inhale, exhale, lean back. With the breath, inhale, exhale, lean back. Good. Last one. Inhale, exhale, lean back and hold. You can shift from side to side, maybe bending the elbows. And now letting your hands peel off the mat fully and start to stretch one finger at a time. Good. Now we're going to interlace the fingers and do a circle and reverse. Good. Now I want you to come into a crow setup. So we're going to spread the fingers really wide, curl the toes, and now we're going to make a shelf with our elbows. So the elbows will hug straight back. I want you to imagine you have a strap around the upper elbows and the elbows can't open out to the sides. You can also place a strap if you have one. Okay, so you're always keeping this position of the elbows in towards the body. Now what you're going to do is begin to stack your knees up onto the upper arms. As high up as you can. It doesn't really matter if it's sliding down right above the elbow, that's fine. It will get better with time. So just make that little shelf, elbows hug back, and then start to stack your knees onto the upper arms. Now lift the right foot up and hold. Grip the floor. Hold for 3. Push through the shoulders for 2. And 1. Switch sides. Left heel up. Hold for 3. Push the floor away for 2. Belly in for 1 and release. Take a little break. You can do some circles. Now, if you are nervous about falling as you try this, go ahead and place a cushion in front of your face. So just a cushion from your home, place it in front of your face, but I'm also going to show you how to fall. So now we're going to place our hands down, spread the fingers wide. Make sure your hands are the width of your shoulders. They're not too wide. Now we're going to bend the elbows straight back, make that shelf. Now this is where I see a lot of people doing this. You want to lean back, you want to lean forward enough to finally find the feet floating off the floor. Now start to grip with your fingers. Notice the weight shifting. You're doing those micro negotiations and release when you're ready. what I see a lot of people doing is that they don't lean forward enough. They think that they can balance out of the sweet spot with their weight shifted back because they're scared. They're scared of falling onto their face. It's a very logical and healthy fear to have, right? So what I see a lot of people doing is that, and check if this is you, your feedback in the pose will tell you what you need to improve. So if you're here and this is what your crow looks like, you just float in, you just kind of shift in and back. Shift in for a second and back. That just means one thing. You're not shifting forward enough. You have to get into the sweet spot. The best thing I can tell you about crow is that it's as if you're falling, but you're stopping the fall with your hands. So you need to let yourself almost fall, but you're not falling because you're gripping the floor. Do you get what I mean? So now we're gonna try this. Elbows in, lean. Allow yourself to lean forward more. You'll be surprised that you're not actually falling. Grip. Remember what we did with the toes and heels in the beginning. That's it. And come back down. Now, what happens if I shift too far forward? I'm gonna fall forward, the scary way, right? So usually people think that they're gonna smash their face, but most cases, you're going to have a quick reflex of moving your hand out to stop your face from being smashed, because we have that reflex. So I'm gonna show you here. If I lean too far forward, I'm gonna push into my hand and be down on my knee, right? And it's not as dramatic as we think. But if you're still nervous, use that cushion in front of your face so you have it there to protect your face, okay? So now, how do we build strength for the crow? What if you're doing this and you can lean forward as much as you can, but your arms kind of collapse and you stumble down, right? What happens in that case? You just need to build upper body strength, upper body stability. So I'm going to show you a few little things that you can do every day to build for that strength, that scapular stability that will not only help you with crow, but any arm balance, any inversion, and also just in your normal yoga practice, doing your chaturanga, your push-ups, all of that. And it will make your daily life easier also because you will feel a lot more stable and strong in your upper body. You like carrying groceries, things like that. So what we're gonna do is keep the knees down, cross your ankles, and then from here, hands are shoulder distance, head in line with the spine. Make sure you're not in an arched position. Slight drawing down of the tailbone. I want you to hug the elbows in lower. Inhale, exhale, press up into this reverse push-up. Let's do 5. Exhale, press up. Let's do 3. If this is challenging for you, this means you do need to implement this into your daily routine to really build that upper body stability. Last one, stay here, hold. Hug the elbows in 5, breath steady 4, belly in 3, slow breath 2, and 1. Press it back, child's pose, take a moment. Good, slowly rising up. Now we're going to work towards one of my favorite poses for upper body stability, especially when it comes to a yoga practice, and that is dolphin pose. We're gonna bring our elbows down. Make sure your elbows are shoulder width distance and forearms are parallel. Now, so the elbows are not too wide. We're gonna curl the toes, come up into dolphin. I want you to take a very lazy dolphin, just relax. And on the exhale, do the opposite, press up. Inhale, relax down, collapse. Exhale, press up. 2 more, inhale, exhale. Last one, relax, lazy dolphin. Exhale, press up and hold. Now your body knows the difference between relaxing down in your dolphin versus pressing up and away, and I want you to hold that pressing up and away for 5. Notice when you start to relax, stay active for 4. Slow down the breath for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down, take a little rest. You can do a few spinal movements. And the last thing we're gonna do is kind of a little drill that helps us also prepare for the crow and for anything where we need to kind of balance ourselves on our arms. So if you have a wall space, I want you to go ahead and press your feet into the wall and then elbows down. Again, elbows are shoulder width distance. Collarbones are wide. You're gonna take a step up here. If you can, bring your feet to that parallel position to the floor. Now, keep that push away from the floor and hold for 3. Now, keep that push away from the floor. Lift the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, thigh into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And switch sides. left leg up. Exhale, thigh into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. And slowly lower yourself down and take a rest. So if this was very challenging for you and you were sliding down the whole time, you might need to take more space away from the wall, and also it just might be that you need to build more strength, so take it one step at a time. Maybe one day you hold for 1 breath and you come right down. The next day you're able to hold for 2 breaths, and so on. So slowly but surely you are building that strength in your upper body, because whatever you do, your body adapts to what you do every day. So wherever you are is never the final destination. Your body is constantly changing and adapting every second of every day. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know how your crow went. Keep practicing, and I can't wait to hear all about your process. Thank you so much, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.